Hello Wranglers, welcome. I'm Mr. Kamiyama. Alright, now a couple things. What we're going to learn today is something that all of you should know how to do. But many of you make mistakes on it. And because of this, you're having issues in your math class. And some of you think you know how to do what we're doing today, but when we grade your test, we realize, man, these students do not understand how to do this. So today we're going to try our best to clarify some of these situations. Now what we're going to do involves very, very simple questions. 3 questions to be exact. Okay? 3 questions is all you have to answer and you will understand how to do it. And a question could be as simple as this. If I'm looking at this book right here, is this book the same as this book? Yes or no? No, they're not. They are different books, right? And you can see that. You can see this one is red and this one is white and got some good stuff on it. But they're different books, okay? Now, next question. Be ready. Are these books the same or they're different? The same. That's right. See, those are the simple questions you have to ask yourself. That's one question. Are the books the same or are they different? That's it. Second question you have to ask yourself is, what is 5 plus 3? Think about it now. 5 plus 3, what is it? 8, right? Now what about this? What's 7 minus 4? 3. See, simple addition, simple subtraction. That's all we're doing. So we're going to ask ourselves, is something the same or are they different? And then you're going to ask yourself, what is the addition or the subtraction? And the final question you're going to ask yourself, you got to ask yourself, what number is bigger? If you're looking at 2 numbers, let's say one was 12 and one was 8, which one is bigger? 12. 12 is bigger than 8, right? So if you can answer those 3 questions, you should have no problem in adding integers. But the problem is, so many of you think you know how to add integers. So many of you think you know the rules, but you don't. You get them mixed up with multiplying rules and dividing rules, and you can't. And so let's talk about adding integers. So if I put a problem up here, everybody take a look at this right here. This is the same problem that's going to be on your worksheet. Look at this. 2 plus negative 7. Can everybody see that? 2 plus negative 7. Okay? 2 integers. Integers, positive, negative numbers, right? Whole numbers. Now, ask yourself, are these signs the same or are they different? Just like the books. Are they the same or are they different? They're different, right? And when they're different signs, what you need to do is you need to take those 2 numbers and you subtract the numbers. So when the signs are different, you subtract. Now, can somebody tell me, what is 7 minus 2? It's 5, right? It's 5. So I'm going to put a 5 here. So that's my answer, 5. But now we got to ask ourselves, remember that third question? Which number is bigger, 7 or 2? Now I know that your teacher probably told you, you look for the greater absolute value of all this, and that's beautiful. Absolute value, that's correct. You're supposed to look for the biggest absolute value of the number. But just to simplify it. Because if we're in 8th grade and we still don't understand this yet, it's because we didn't simplify it enough. So the question I'm going to ask you is, what's bigger, 7 or 2? Don't look at the signs, just look at the 7 and the 2. Which one's bigger? 7. Now, 7 is negative, so it's going to be a negative 5. And that's your answer, negative 5. So once again, all we did, we asked ourselves 3 questions. First question was, are these signs the same or are they different? Right? Second question we asked ourselves was, because they're different, we're going to subtract. And what's 7 minus 2? And it's 5. So that's why we got a 5 here. Then the final question was, what number is bigger, 2 or 7? 7 is bigger and it's negative. That's why our answer was negative. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's take a look at another problem and see if we can figure out the answer for this. So here we go. Everybody, take a look. Right here now, look. I'm going to divide the board in 2. Look, here we go. Negative 6 plus, I'm sorry, Negative 7 plus negative 6. Now you may be thinking, whoa, whoa, what's all those parentheses for? Don't worry about the parentheses, people. They're just grouping that. They're just showing you that that number is negative. That's all it is. So, if we're looking at this number right here, remember the three questions. First question, are these signs the same or are they different? They're the same. They're both negative. Next question is, do we add or do we subtract? Well, if the signs are the same, you're going to add. What is 7 plus 6? It's 13. So we're going to put a 13 here. Okay? Now, the final question. Remember, which number is bigger? 7 or 6? 7 is, and 7 is negative. Therefore, my answer is going to be negative. Okay? Now, once again, three questions. Signs the same or they different? They're the same. We're going to add because the signs are the same. 7 plus 6 is 13. 7 was bigger, so we had to make the 13 negative. Okay? Because we got to keep that same sign. All right. Now, let's move on to the next one. What happens now? Take a look. What happens now if we have a problem that looks like this? This is like number 3 on your paper, number 5 on your paper, I'm sorry. This next one's like number 5 on your paper. Look at this now. Oh my goodness. Negative 3 minus 3. Boy, we got the negative. And we got the minus. This throws people off too. Now, obviously the proper way to teach this would be to show you a number line and have things move on the number line left to right. That's the way to do it. But sometimes that confuses people. Okay? And so I'm going to try my best to teach this to you so that it's not as confusing. So here it is. Negative 3 minus 3. Okay? What you should do and what we can do is we can change our minus sign. Okay? What it's called is called add the opposite. Some of y'all know that keep, change business, but let's get past that. Let's just add the opposite. Now, what in the world does that mean? This is what it means. Okay? Your first number is negative 3. Okay? Don't mess with your first number. Your first number does not like to be touched. Leave them alone. Okay? So what we do is we're going to change that minus sign. Okay? When we change the minus sign, look what happens. So the negative 3 here we leave alone. We change the minus sign to a plus. Now we can't just change that sign and be done. What we got to do is we got to do the opposite of the number that's right after that minus. So what's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. So what we did right there is we did something called changing our signs. Okay? Once again, leave your first number alone, change the minus sign, and then do the opposite of the number right after that minus sign that you changed. Now ask yourself those three questions again. First question, are these signs the same or are they different? They're the same. Because they're the same, do we add or do we subtract? We add. When the signs are the same, we're going to add, right? And so 3 plus 3 is 6. So we put a 6 here. Now the question is, what number is bigger, the 3 or the 3? They're the same. So guess what? Just keep the same sign. So, because they were negative, our answer will be negative. So our answer is negative 6. Now please don't think that negative and a negative make a positive. That's only true in multiplication and division, because I know some of y'all thinking that right now. Another thing, I know some of y'all trying to jump ahead of the game and get this worksheet done. Please don't do that. Listen to what I'm telling you so maybe it'll make more sense. Also, maybe you can use these skills to help your brother or sister or cousin or nephew or something on this. Okay? Now, let's do one last one, and then from there, we'll let y'all get to work. Here we go. This one right here is a nice one. Look at this. Negative 8 minus negative 5. Boy, that's a toughie, isn't it? Look at that. Got minuses and negatives all the way across it. But let's take a look. Got a minus sign, so what's the first thing we're going to do? We're going to change those signs, right? We're going to add the opposite. So what do we do with the first number? Do we touch it? Don't like to be touched. But we're going to change the minus sign to a plus. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to do the opposite of the sign of the number after the sign we changed. So we changed this sign. So what's the opposite negative 5? Positive 5. Now ask yourself, are these two numbers, do they have the same sign or are they different signs? Different signs, correct? And because they're different, we're going to need to subtract. So we're going to need to subtract these two numbers. Now what's 8 minus 5, folks? Come on, people. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we put a 3 here. Now the next question is, which is our answer? Positive 3 or negative 3? So let's take a look. Which one's bigger, the 8 or the 5? The 8's bigger, and look, that's negative, right? So it's going to be a negative 3. And that's it. That's my answer. Negative 3. So you see, people, adding and subtracting integers, is it hard? No. But it's confusing if you let it be confusing. Some of you guys try to rush so quick. How many of y'all seriously think if you get through the worksheet first, you're going to win a prize or something? Because some of y'all speed through it, okay? Trying to be Lightning McQueen. You're not. Please, take your time. Take your time. Concentrate. Make sure you're asking yourself those 3 questions, right? Remember those 3 questions. Are the signs the same or different? Do you add or subtract? And which number was bigger? You're going to keep that sign. And that's it. All right. So this worksheet, please get started on it now. Okay? There's a couple difficult problems at the end I threw on there just for you smart people. So please get started. Thank you so much. And I hope I didn't bore you too much.